last 6 months have been a significant test of fortitude, and my body is starting to break down a bit under the strain. I've arranged for 3 days off duty and off the grid so I can try to unwind a bit. My initial destination is an obscure mesa I found on the map. It is surrounded by imposing cliffs with only one described access and no trails. Because of this, it is ecologically pristine, and there are rumors of archaeological sites on the northern end. I'm trying to find a canyon that will let me directly access the northern end of the mesa.
I want this mesa top pretty bad. I've been working my way up here for over an hour. And this right here is what I think is the crux of my line up to the top. But it could get worse. I have no idea. So I'm going to call it a day, at least as far as this approach is concerned. My responsibilities are too great back home to take this risk. So I'm going to just head back down off of here and try something else.
The described access is fairly hidden and directly abuts an intimidating piece of private property. I top off my water bottles and head out in the heat of the day. I'm following heavy deer trails through the thickest cryptobiotic crust I've ever seen. There's lots of coyote sign. My cardiovascular fitness has slipped some in the last 6 months, but mostly I'm feeling the fact that my body isn't trail hardened right now. Evening is spent drinking in the countryside. I've learned that, on this particular trip, I'm not interested in doing a lick of cooking, so dinner is a granola bar and applesauce packet followed by an early retreat to bed. I only brought a day's worth of water up to this mesa, so my time and mobility is limited this go-round. Plus, I have other country I want to see. Now that I've gotten things scouted a bit, I'll be back with a better water plan and cooler temps so I can more fully explore this island in the sky. For now, I have miles to go to get to some coffee if I'm not going to brew it myself.
I don't normally carry such a potent firearm on the trail, but I'm testing something out here, and also it can get a little bit country down in this part of the world. So I've got it. Well, there was some kind of living that got done here. I was looking down on that this morning.
I've always been crazy in the trouble that it's put me through.
Well, the Yellow Rock Cafe here provided me a fine chicken fried steak and egg meal. I'm without a doubt below where the elk and the bear are, so I'm gonna head up country and see what I can see up there. Picking up a couple of things here at the grocery store before I take off. It's nice that this local mom and pop shop's still in business.
I've always been different, but 1 foot over the line. Winding up somewhere, 1 step ahead, all behind. So far I ain't found no rhyme or reason to change.
I'm going to be able to make it all the way around on this road like I had planned. Well, after bucking snowdrifts for a little bit further, I decided to go ahead and call it. I'm looking to adventure here, not spend time getting unstuck. So I'm headed down, but while we're up here, let's take a look down here on the southwestern horizon. Those are the manatees down there. And what I'm going to do is try to cut back as far as I can up into the basin up here. Hopefully have a nice little snowshoe trip in the morning. There's enough snow left here at 8,800 feet that I gotta put on snowshoes just to go to the bathroom. Nice trips. I spend the afternoon glassing for animals. Evening finds me sleeping in the back of my rig at the trailhead, prepared for an early start the next morning. I decided to take my own advice and try a pair of MSR snowshoes. Honestly, they're pretty darn good. They weigh a couple pounds less than my Sherpas. The binding system works very well. The traction is good. And they're available in a nice bronze color to seduce those of us still bitterly clinging to our guns and Sherpa snow claws. After my snowshoe hike, I descend back down into the desert for the final leg of my trip before I head home. I'm not at all a rock crawler type, but I had to indulge myself in the local trail. I went just far enough to get myself into trouble and luckily was able to use my head to get myself out of it. A few strategically placed rocks in sand pits and I was able to get back up out of here and get on my way. If you've been to hole in the rock, you know. If not, all I can tell you is good excavation, bad taxidermy, and you're going to have to check it out for yourself. Moab is quite the scene. It's a mix of Subaru Tribers here for the rock climbing, mountain biking, and rafting, redneck four-wheelers, and neo-hippies in search of the ghost of Edward Abbey. Incidentally, if you're looking to track hippies, this is what their tracks look like right here. My wood-handled shovel lasted for 2 years, but the handle rotted out. I was using it because I wanted a $15 shovel. I didn't care if somebody stole, but now I got a $30 shovel I'll cry about, but the handle's not going to break on me. A used gear store. You know I'm going to have to go and check that out. After my visit to what turned out to be a pretty doggone good used gear store, it's time to head over to Zach's for the world-famous wood-fired pizza buffet. I don't know about world-famous, but it does rate pretty highly with my family. My Canyon Country Sojourn has given me respite, but it's time to head home and get back after it.
I've always been crazy, but it's kept me from going insane. Beautiful lady, are you sure that you understand?